in our starting point photography segment for this Wednesday evening. It was kind of funny. I mentioned this to Melissa just before the show started about this photo contest thing. And do you remember what you said?
I said, "Oh, are there going to be prizes?"
I said, "Nope." And you said,
I said, "Oh, well, what is it? Just for Apple to promote how wonderful their camera is on their photos, and then they get to use someone's photograph for a year,
pretty much
for
yeah,
free,
pretty much for free.
just for the privilege of okay."
Yep, you're not even working for exposure per se, because the old thing of if you do this job for me, I'll mention your name on my website or on my podcast, wherever it is, and the idea is that other people then go, "Oh, that guy sounds interesting," and they come and they buy your thing or whatever it might be. You're not even doing that because the average person doesn't need exposure. If the person's a plumber, Apple's not going to say this picture shot by Joe's plumber of San Francisco, California. It's going to have Al B. It's not even going to have his full name if they go by the way they've done in the past.
Yeah, but he still deserved a prize.
Well, as we said with the segment of Jim, part of the problem is that if they did a prize giveaway, there's a whole different set of legal rules they have to go by. There's a whole bunch of restrictions and hoops they have to jump through. And Apple just apparently doesn't want to jump through those hoops. Okay, fine. But still, I don't think it looks good. The so-called optics of it aren't great for Apple to ask people to take pictures that Apple is then going to use to promote their products and make money off of my picture. And it doesn't matter whether you're a pro or not. Apple's going to be making money off of your picture. If Apple would use their own pros in this campaign, Apple has on staff at any one time between 5 and 10 photographers, professional photographers. A couple of guys are friends of mine, amazing photographers. Apple would pay them for these photos, and they have paid them for photos of the Mojave Desert and other things that Apple's done. So if it's not that Apple's not willing to pay for photos, they're just not willing to pay these people for photos, and that to me seems a little unfair.
I agree.
It's not a matter that I'm a pro and I deserve to get paid and da da da. It's that Apple is doing working with one group of people in a different way than they're working with the other group. The pro group, they would absolutely pay. These amateurs, we're not going to pay.
But these are amateurs that support their products and buy their stuff and probably talk up Apple all over the place. Look at my great phone. Look at the photos it takes. I mean, these are their customers.
Yeah, and even if it was a legal issue, as I said, Apple's got a team of 1,000 lawyers. They can hand this off to a junior associate who could do the paperwork everywhere. Or Apple could just restrict the contest to the U.S. only. They could do that too. So that, as I said, a little birdie told me it's one of the reasons why Apple did it this way. I understand that might be a reasoning. I don't think it's a very good one.
I agree. Can't they give people gift certificates for their store
Again,
or something like that?
Any prize, anything that's got a monetary value, a whole different set of rules are going to come into play. Now, if Apple did something like, Apple could do something like in secret after the contest is over, say, "Nice job. Here's an iPhone," or a laptop or whatever, but someone's going to squeal on that, and that would get Apple into trouble. So Apple's caught between a rock and a hard place in this one, but the hard place ain't that hard. They could have done prizes. It just makes them look bad to be profiting off the work of others and doing it in such a way. One of the restrictions on this is Apple gets to use your photo exclusively for a year. Which means if someone else comes along and says, "Hey, can I buy that photo?" You have to say no. If Time Magazine sees your photo on a billboard and says, "That's a great photo, let me go to this guy and buy the photo for Time Magazine," you have to say no. Time Magazine, if they want to use a photo, has to go to Apple, and they'll buy it from Apple.
Yeah.
So
No.
Monty, I'd love to see one of my pictures on a billboard in Times Square with the Apple logo on the bottom of it. I know I shot it. My friends would know I shot it. I get the point of view of some people thinking it's unfair, but this would support a company and products I like, and I'm okay with that in this situation. And I think that's where a lot of pros get their knickers in a bunch, when people are okay with working for free. People are okay with giving their efforts, whether they are professional or not. You created this image. You did the work to create this image. And the argument is that by you devaluing your own work, you also devalue my work as well.
Well, and Apple could then elaborate and continue on doing such things if people are willing to allow it to happen.
The other aspect of this is that as we said, the exposure and recognition is very minimal as well, too. It's not my full name, Sean King at yourmaclifeshow.com or startingpointphotography.com. It's going to be Sean K. Well, no one's going to be able to find me with Sean K.
No, I don't agree.
Apple would have to, at the very least, put your full Instagram handle or your full, wherever Apple found it. If they found it on Twitter, put your Twitter handle. If they found it on Instagram, put your Instagram handle. Let people find you that way. It rubs me the wrong way. It's going to be a successful campaign. It's shot on iPhone. You can look it up now already on Twitter, hashtag shot on iPhone, on Instagram, hashtag shot on iPhone.
Yeah, I had a look. Yeah. Do they have categories?
Not that I know of. Apple didn't say that there were categories. Apple might break them out into categories later, but right now they're just grabbing all of them. So it's an interesting problem, interesting concept that Apple is doing here, and I don't. The other aspect of this, too, that I want to make sure people realize is that this is not uncommon. There are a lot of contests out there, and when you submit to these contests, you've got to read the fine print, because a lot of contests work this way. Some contests even say by submitting the photo, the contest person owns the photo now. You gave up your rights by submitting the photo to me.
No.
A few years ago, National Geographic got in trouble for that, because even if you didn't win the contest, Nat Geo still gave Nat Geo a license to use the photo, even if you didn't win.
Oh yeah, no.
So you got to be careful. You got to read the fine print. You got to understand what's going on. A lot of these contests, and never ever pay to enter a contest. It's a bunch of contests that say, every submission is $50. Screw you. I'm not paying you to enter a contest. That's insane. Some will do that because it skirts that law of prize money, that you're paying me to enter the contest. Therefore, the rules for this prize giveaway are different than if it was just something else. So if you are entering these kind of contests, and I personally never do, if you're entering these kinds of contests, make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you read the rules and know what kind of rights you're giving up and what kind of responsibilities they have towards you when you submit their photo. We announced on Monday the next Starting Point Photography Workshop is going to be right here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. We're going to be doing it September 21st to 28th. You can go to startingpointphotography.com to get more details about that. Melissa and I are already thinking about what we're going to do with people. It's going to be the same basic concept. The idea is go on the vacation you're already going to go on to a beautiful place, and I promise you, Vancouver is the single most naturally beautiful city in North America, bar none. I've been to a lot, and none of them compare. We have snow-covered mountains right here in the city. Not like Denver, where they're miles away. Not like other cities where, like Mount Rainier in Seattle, where you look through the clouds, Mount Rainier is 30 or 40 miles away. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Not like Mount Hood in Portland, which is just 100 miles away. You take a bus to get to the snow in Vancouver.
Oh,
a city bus takes you to get snow.
Olympic level skiing.
Exactly. We had the
No
Olympics
ways.
in the city. But it doesn't snow down the ground level. It just snows up the mountain, which is kind of cool. So we have this backdrop of these beautiful mountains, and then you've got gorgeous beaches, English Bay and Spanish Banks, and a bunch of Jericho Beach, Beach.
Jericho Beach.
Jericho Beach.
Yeah.
The area of False Creek, Granville Island, spectacularly beautiful places, wonderful landscape photography. Food, shopping, food.
Mm-hmm.
This happened about 6 years ago. It was a funny story I think I've read. Condé Nast Traveler magazine voted Vancouver to have the best Chinese food in the world. That world includes China.
It's just food there.
I read that article and isn't it better in China? But according
you got to go to China.
But true, but still, according to Condé Nast Traveler magazine, we had the best Chinese food in the world. Vancouver has more sushi restaurants than you can shake a stick at. Mm-hmm. There are little tiny holes in the wall that would be the best sushi you ever had. Mm-hmm. There are restaurants you can spend $100 on a piece of sushi and everything in between. We've got a lot of something that took me a long time to get used to moving to Vancouver from little old Halifax. Halifax, our idea of ethnic food is Chinese food, takeout. That's ethnic for us in Nova Scotia. I had never had any Asian food at all until I moved to Vancouver. For us, it was just Chinese food. I didn't even know there was different kinds of Chinese. I didn't know Szechuan, Cantonese, whatever, Mandarin. I didn't know any of that stuff. Never had Malaysian food. Never had Thai food. Never had any of that stuff. Moved to Vancouver. Met a girl in college, and we go on a date. And where do you want to go? She said, let's go for Thai food. Great, we'll go for Thai food. Go for Thai food, and I had this pad Thai stuff, just a buttload of noodles. Like, this is really good. Mm-hmm. Vancouver's got some amazing Asian restaurants, Asian fusion restaurants, a lot of those kind of places. So if you like the Asian influence in your food, Vancouver's got that in spades. Not as much history as I like, but only because Vancouver's only a little over 100 years old. So it's not that East Coast history, certainly not that European history. But there's some really interesting history. We're going to go on a walking tour of a place called Gastown, which is the original area of Vancouver. We're going to do a walking tour of Granville Island, which is a wonderful, really cool, funky, not really, I wouldn't call it artistic, not crafty. How would you describe Granville Island, the stores on Granville Island?
Oh, it's a marketplace, so it's varied. It's rich sensory-wise, smells, sights, tastes.
It's right in the waterfront. There's this.
You can see the city.
There's this amazing Granville Island market, which is fairly expensive and often very, very busy, but a great place for photography, especially street photography, photography of people. Really cool, funky shops and stores. There's tea stores. One of our favorite meat places, pate and smoked meat, is there.
Everything.
Chocolatiers are there, all kinds of. But I think I love about Granville Island in general is that, as far as I know, there's no chains there. There's no Arby's. There's no McDonald's on Granville Island. No, there's the Keg.
Oh, the Keg is down there.
I think that's the only chain place. There's bakeries. There are several restaurants. There's a brewery. Granville Island Brewery
down
is there.
Although they don't brew the beer there anymore.
They don't?
Mm-mm.
I didn't know that.
Nope.
They took the kegs out. Huh. Okay. But anyway, so Granville Island's a great place to go. We are going to go on a trip on the North Shore to Capilano Suspension Bridge. And you got to come and join us for that alone. Because if you ever want to hear someone scream like a girl, it'll be me on the damn suspension bridge. Oh, my God. How high is this suspension bridge? It's 100 feet, 200 feet in the air over this gorge, and it's a rope bridge. It's just one of these bridges that moves. I don't like bridges that move. No. I want my bridges to be solid and stationary. Right?
How are you going to get to the other side?
Oh, I'm going to go because I have to, because I'm the leader of the group. Someone's going to be a dick, and they're going to shake the bridge. I'm going to have to kill them and hide their body in the forest.
Well, the bridge shakes all the time when people are on it.
I know. I'm not happy about it. But, and I didn't know this. I've been in the suspension bridge once, and that was in college. But they've really built up the area around there now, haven't they? What else is there now?
Oh, they've got the treetop walk, which is spectacularly done, truly beautiful. So you can walk way up into the canopy, into the upper canopy of the gorgeous evergreen trees. They've also got another exhibit now on the on the side before you cross the bridge that is to do with water and water erosion on rocks, and it's very beautiful, very well done. And then of course you can then see the totem poles. It's nice to be able to, if you come to Pacific Northwest, totem poles are a part of the experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll also be doing, hopefully we'll be doing a bicycling trip around Stanley Park. Stanley Park is a beautiful urban park. Very, unlike Stanley Park, correct me if I'm wrong, unlike Central Park in New York, it's not groomed, manicured.
No.
There's all kinds of trails to go through, bike trails and walking trails. It's much wilder. But there's this wonderful bicycling, walking path all the way around Stanley Park. We're going to rent bicycles and do a bicycle trip around Stanley Park. And don't worry, the bicycling is very easy. If you can ride a bicycle, you can bike around Stanley Park. There's no hills. There's no elevation changes. It's all paved. It's not mountain biking. Also, you'll get these simple little bikes to ride. They're dirt cheap, like $8 an hour. It's a beautiful, nice bicycle ride around the park. We'll get some great shots of the North Shore, of the Lionsgate Bridge, the iconic bridge in Vancouver, English Bay. There's a bunch of beautiful places. We might, if it's nice, I'd like to go and do pitch and putt. There's a pitch and putt golf course in the middle of Stanley Park, which is so much fun.
It is. It's a great one.
Hopefully the guys will be doing lawn bowling. I love watching these old guys in their white outfits doing lawn bowling. So you get some great pictures of these beautiful, wonderful old faces, craggy and wrinkly faces, competing in lawn bowling, which is, I've always loved taking pictures of those guys. It's a lot of fun. It is a beautiful, beautiful city. And again, very similar to what we're going to do in Lisbon. We're going to do 4 morning classroom sessions, 2 evening sessions. We're going to do hopefully at least one day, one of the Saturdays or the Sundays, we're going to walk out onto the Lionsgate Bridge. And if we time it right, Vancouver is a big cruise ship port. If we time it right, we can get some great shots of the cruise ships coming down the harbor and then out into the ocean. And Melissa has convinced me that this is a good idea. We are going to, just like in Lisbon, on the Wednesday that we're in Lisbon, we're taking a day off and going out to Sintra, which is a beautiful, beautiful little town just outside of Lisbon. And then we're going to go to Cabo de Roca, which is the westernmost edge of the continent of Europe. Melissa has convinced me to have everyone come and join us here on the Sunshine Coast, here in Gibsons. So we're going to get up early in the morning. We're going to catch the ferry over. It's a beautiful ferry ride through the islands of the Salish Sea? Is that where we're on?
I don't know if it's the Salish Sea or part of the Georgia Strait. Or...
We'll find out. Anyway, from Horseshoe Bay to here in Gibsons. And then we're going to we're going to do a little walking tour of Gibsons. For those of you who are familiar with it, the Gibsons is the town that they filmed The Beachcombers in. When we were kids here in Canada, the CBC played the TV show called The Beachcombers, and everyone in Canada watched it. It was our version of the Andy Griffith Show. Think of it that way. Everyone in Canada watched it. And so we'll do a walking tour of the lower Gibsons area, nice little shops and stores. We'll do a walk on the piers. I will show you all where Dexter now lives, at the bottom of the ocean. And then we're going to go to the pub at Gibson Tapworks, which is a nice little walk. They've got a beautiful outdoor deck, and we'll have lunch at the Tapworks. And then we're going to go head back towards the ferry. We'll stop off at another brew pub called Persephone. And Persephone is really cool as a brew pub because not only do they brew the beer on the premises, their hops are grown on the premise. It's a hop farm too, so the hops go directly from a vine 20 feet away from the brewery to the brewery, and I got to believe there's gonna be some great pictures there. And Melissa described it this way last night. It's a brew farm. It's actually a farm.
It's a beer farm.
It's a beer farm.
Yeah. Well, it's a community event to go and harvest the hops, get a piece of pizza or whatever and a beer if you help them harvest their hops.
It's actually a big deal. They've been fighting for a while now to get permission to become more of a how to describe it, more of a real brewery type thing. They had a bunch of restrictions in the past.
I think that beer and all this beer farming and beer craft brew beer places are working to become more like the status of being a winery, that you have more rights and ability to do things, eating and drinking inside. Like if you got there were certain rules about whether you could drink outside of the actual it was very odd.
The if you go, I'll post in the IRC channel, the Sunshine Coast Ale Trail, explore the Brewers Coast. That video, it's up on YouTube. I also linked to it on the loopinsight.com earlier this week. That video shows off three of the four pubs that are. We're very lucky in the Sunshine Coast here in Gibsons. There are three brew pubs right here. One that we go to often is called the 101. Gibson's Tapworks is in the town of Gibsons, and then on the way to and from the ferry is Persephone, where Melissa and I had our very first date.
We did.
We had our very first date at Persephone.
So. Drank beer and had a great big Reuben sandwich.
Yeah, that was very yummy. so yeah, we're going to do that, and then we'll go back on the ferry and go back to Vancouver on that Wednesday. So there'll be the same classes, the same kind of idea. We're going to talk about composition. We're going to talk about landscape. We're going to talk about black and white, street photography, all that kind of stuff. So if you can't make it to Lisbon with us here at the end of March, please try to come with us September 21st to 28th here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The other big advantage, too, very much like Lisbon, is for our American friends. Your American dollar goes much farther.
Yes.
Ridiculously so much farther. I was just doing some research on this and saw that so $100 U.S., just get this thing, $100 U.S. is $133 Canadian. So you're getting $33 free dollars to spend in Canada. Everything that you buy is 1/3 cheaper here, if you look at it that way. So you're Monty, that's a huge difference.
It really is.
Ridiculously huge difference. It makes it really hard for us poor Canadians to go visit you guys because conversely, everything is a third more expensive for the most part. But for you guys, the $1 American dollar is worth $1.33 Canadian. So your money goes a lot farther.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is your money's going to have to go farther because it's going to be difficult to find hotels in the city of Vancouver at a reasonable price. We were looking at them earlier, and even the local Ramada, which I like Ramadas. They're not fancy hotels. They're always nice. They're always clean. Even in the middle of summer, not necessarily in late September. Middle of summer, a Ramada around here in downtown Vancouver can cost $200-300 a night, and that's all. I don't want people to spend that kind of money.
Oh, that's crazy.
Even in Canadian dollars, I don't want you to spend. Actually, what is $200? Hang on, what's 200? 200. You know what? It's not bad. 200 Canadians, 150 American.
That's not so bad.
That's not unreasonable.
I mean, it's a major city, so
that's my upper limit is $150 a night for a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to keep the hotel we choose below that. We still got lots of time to find a good deal. Hopefully, it's far enough after tourist season that the prices might start coming down. But that's what we're looking for. If you have any suggestions for hotels in Vancouver, and Dave, don't suggest Sutton Place. We can't afford it. Let me know. Send me an email to Sean@yourmaclifeshow.com. Again, you can find more details at startingpointphotography.com, or as always, send me an email, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about this trip. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a beautiful city, a beautiful time of year. The fall here is going to be nice. The temperatures are going to be mild. The weather is going to be generally pretty good. So we're going to have a really good time.
I can see that many people may look and think, oh, what about Whistler? Everybody's always making a big deal about Whistler, and I've been there many times, but I will say, just so everybody knows, that when you go there, all you do is spend copious amounts of money. It really is extremely expensive to do anything in Whistler.
There's not a lot to do photography-wise in Whistler in the fall. When the snow falls, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, but there's no snow there. It's not that, in my opinion, not that photographic. photogenic.
I mean, on the way there,
Well, yeah, certainly on the way
on the
there.
Sea to Sky
Yeah.
Highway, but you get to see another part of that when you're on the ferry.
Yeah.
So, just saying about, because people are going to go, oh, what about Whistler?
Whistler is certainly a place you can go on your off days, on your free time.
Yeah.
You can rent a car and drive to Whistler easily. It's 90 minutes from downtown Vancouver.
But it's really essentially a mole in the mountains. Just saying.
Unless you're skiing, and even skiing is very, very expensive in Whistler.
Crazy.
There's nothing in Whistler you can buy that you can't buy in Vancouver.
Very true. The gas town will have all those funky touristy things that you might want to buy.
As beautiful as it is, I've never been to Whistler in the non-snow time, except for that one time that you and I took the motorcycle there.
Oh, I've been there many times in the summer.
I've never gone in the summertime because there wasn't anything to do outside of. If you're outdoorsy and want to go hiking,
we would hike and
bike. What about the gondola? Now, this is before they put a lot of that stuff, summertime stuff. And what about the gondola?
Oh, I've done that.
Is that worth going to?
Oh, it's magnificent.
I've never been on
in
it,
the summer.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. And not going up in the chairlift, you can, bears are wrestling underneath and cubs, and I mean it's pretty amazing, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap. So, anyway, if you want more information, send me an email to Sean@yourmaclifeshow.com or go to the website at startingpointphotography.com and you can get some more details there.